Okay, so we are still with Honorable John Mahama, MP for Bole and Vice Presidential Candidate of the National Democratic Congress. I want to ask you some terms more on your family background.
Yeah.
It's obvious to me that your father is a very big part of your politics.
Yes.
Your father was a senior politician himself.
Yeah.
A former regional minister for the Northern region.
Yeah, former deputy minister, former regional minister, former minister of animal husbandry.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And it also strikes me that he has very interesting parallels with the father of the vice presidential candidate of the MPP, Mr. Bawumia. He actually succeeded your father as regional minister.
Actually, the coincidence in our politics has been very uncanny, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, because my father and Dr. Bawumia's father were quite close friends.
Okay.
In the CPP together. And they kind of followed a certain, you know, the same track. They got educated about the same time together. And then my father became regional minister.
Was your father at Tamale Secondary School?
Yeah, my father was at Tamale Secondary School.
Just like
Bawumia, the same, yeah. My father became regional minister for Northern Region. After him, Bawumia became regional minister for Northern Region. They all had large families. They had about the same number of children.
How many families?
I think Bawumia had 19 children. My dad too had 19 children.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so,
strong men.
Yeah, so there are a lot of parallels, you know, between the two. They were close friends and they called each other neighbor.
Okay.
Because they lived in the same vicinity.
Okay.
In a great ridge.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a funny story of when one night Alhaji Bawumia came to our house. My dad had retired to bed. And we kids had our room, but it was a bit stuffy in the room. And so once visitors had come and gone, we just came out into the hall and, you know, just laid our mattresses in the hall. And so Alhaji Bawumia came into the house and we had to go and call my dad. So my dad came. And of course, children were sleeping in the hall, so he had to step over children, to go and sit down. And my dad said, "Oh, sorry, look, the kids are lying in the hall." He says, "Oh, it's the same in my house." Yes, but they had quite good times together. Yeah, and so we grew up together. Myself and Mahmoud, you know, he was younger than me, and so his elder brothers were closer to me than he was. Yeah, but we knew each other. The families knew each other very well.
I noticed that when you were nominated as the candidate, one of the first things you did was to go to your father's grave. I guess to draw inspiration.
Yes, my father has been my mentor. He's the one responsible for who I am. And while he was alive, he was my chief advisor. You know, once I started my political career, I mean, he gave me a lot of wonderful advice. He narrated his experiences to me, and it helped me very much.
And it appears you still have a very strong family support. I noticed that the host said that when you were on the Good Morning, Good Evening Ghana show, you were there with your brothers.
Yes, my brothers have been very supportive, and throughout my political career, not just because of the vice presidency. Actually, they encouraged me to run for parliament. They were part of the conspiracy that got me into parliament. And
it appeared you were a very reluctant candidate. I mean, definitely as a vice president. What was said was that you were going to do a PhD, you are not too interested in becoming a candidate.
Yeah, I'd actually gotten an offer to come and do a doctorate, you know, and so
at which university?
I had made my plans. University of Hull.
And what were you going to study?
I was going to study international politics and foreign relations, And so
What kind of topic were you going to study?
Well, I was working it out with my supervisor.
Okay.
You know, when all these
issues. So you are not going to run for parliament even?
No, I was not going to run for parliament. Actually, I was waiting for this term to expire. And so what I had done was I had done the applications and everything, and I had started to speak with the head of department, and he had assured me of a place. But I told him I had, you know, about another 1.5 years to go to finish parliament, and so I'd like to start.
How did you choose Hull?
There's a friend who recommended that university. He said they have a very good department, you know, for
they do actually
international politics and foreign relations. And that's why I chose Hull.
I thought the former deputy prime minister recommended it to you.
No.
What's his name? The deputy to Tony Blair. Anyway, all this by the way.
Yeah.
He was the MP for Hull.
Is it Prescott?
Prescott.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what's your relationship with Dr. Bawumia then?
Very cordial.
Have you met on the campaign?
Not on the campaign, but we met at a debate and we've met at other functions.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was nominated, he congratulated me. And when he was nominated, I congratulated him. And on a few occasions, we've spoken by phone.
You've very much been on the campaign. You are an expert on communications as well.
Yeah.
I mean, in the previous interview, you spoke about the disparities in money between the NDC and everything, which is expected.
Yeah.
We are the governing party. When you were in government, I'm sure you had more money than they did.
Yeah, but when we were in government, we held discussions on how to assist political parties, to become, stronger vehicles for democracy, so and that had to do with state financing.
You would want some state funding of parties?
Well, when we come back into government, it's something that I will seriously consider. Not in terms of giving parties cash, but in terms of assisting parties, like paying the rental on their headquarters buildings, providing them with some transportation, in terms of vehicles, helping them with their communications and things like that. I think that's
right. In any case,
and then also capacity building training and all that kind of thing. Yeah.
You've managed to produce what many people see as a very impressive outcome. What was your secret?
Well, I think it's the people of Ghana. I came into politics to serve the people, and the encouragement and inspiration that I've gotten from them, is what keeps me going.
But you had a difficult time. I mean, it's well known that the founder of your party was not exactly hot on your nomination.
Yeah, well, I think that people have a right to hold their own opinions, and he had a different opinion. But Professor Mills, insisted that he wanted me, and so here I am.
And also, I find it intriguing, especially from what I've just said, that you feel this urge to forge a closer link between the campaign and the party.
Yes.
And also from what you said before, what do you see as the health of the party? I must confess, I've been very impressed with the level of activity I've seen in your headquarters since I've been here.
That's right.
But you've been involved much more.
Yeah, well, the level of activity goes up when you're running a campaign, so it might be because the campaign is on. But I do think that past the campaign, we would manage to maintain, interest in the party, organize the branches so that people are active. And if we win, we would put in some form of financing, like I said, for political parties, so that it builds their capacity to be able to, serve the purpose that the Constitution has created for them, being the vehicles of democracy.
It's been widely reported that the big factor was to get a Northern running mate, both for the MPP and for NDC. I was very struck when you mentioned, before you were confirmed as running mate, that we should not only think about Northerners as running mates.
Yeah.
Can you explain that further?
Well, it's become fashionable nowadays to always have a Northerner as a running mate to the presidential candidate. And so what I said was that in our politics, the first criteria should be merit. Of course, geographical balance is important, but it's coincidental that, Northerners appear to be serving just as running mates. And I thought that, we should also be bold to go for the ultimate prize.
On these demographic factors, another point was not just a Northerner, but a Muslim. You are not a Muslim, and that was seen as a liability.
Yeah,
how did that play out?
Well, that's because in the eyes of most Southerners, they believe that every Northerner is a Muslim. But that is not the case. We have large Muslim populations, and we do have quite significant Christian populations. And there are a lot of people from the north who are not necessarily Muslim. But I don't think that religious considerations are anything that are important to me at all. I think that I take human beings on merit and not because of what faith they belong to. I think that faith is a personal belief and it shouldn't come into our politics at all. It's unfortunate that it's been introduced, but I don't think it's healthy for our politics.
I know the NDC describes itself as a social democratic party.
Yeah.
But if I might say so, my own image of you is of a more liberal person.
Well, you say that because of the programs we've run in the past, the structural adjustment programs. But you must look at the context in which they were run. They were run in a certain period of time where we had no option and nowhere to turn to. And that's why...
Does that mean a new NDC government will be more interventionist?
I think so. I think that the state has a role to play, especially in a developing democracy. We cannot just say that the private sector is the engine of growth and just sit back hoping that the private sector will take the bull by the horns. I think that government has a role to play in these initial stages in building our country, and I have no qualms in having state intervention in some things.
Thank you very much.
Especially in agriculture.
Okay.
And yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.